You're afraid of your own success.
What are you on about? It's failure that I'm afraid of.
Really? So why do you consistently choose comforts over growth? The green, the late nights, the sugar. Is that your idea of a successful person?
The only reason I do that stuff is so I can briefly escape the crippling anxiety and self-doubt I have about actually achieving my goal.
And how do you know it's not those exact habits that are causing the self-doubt and anxiety? I mean, it's not crazy to think that there's a part of you that knows you're investing energy into things that don't serve you, but you keep doing them. So are you sure it's the fear of failure you suffer from? Or the fear of success, aka the fear of change?
But why would I fear my own success? It's my only light in this dark world.
Fearing success isn't the fear of reaching the goal, nephew. It's the fear of killing parts of yourself that no longer serve you, but still exist as a defense mechanism. The part of you that avoids discomfort and procrastinates and self-sabotages all in the name of staying at a level that you've been for your whole life, instead of stretching yourself out to everything that you can be. I mean, it's classic fear of the unknown. You're not the only one.
But why? Why do so many of us fear manifesting everything we've ever wanted?
To understand, you have to go back to the beginning. Uncover the stories you were told as a child. Was your work never good enough, leading you to a life of perfectionism and analysis paralysis? Like me? Perhaps you were taunted for being praised, leading you to a life of avoiding the spotlight. At the end of the day, there's 1,000,001 little stories going on in that universe you call a mind, nephew. But it's on you to become conscious of them, so you can choose which ones to listen to and which ones to discard.
Whoa.
But how do I actually become conscious of my inner world so I can dismantle these limiting beliefs? Ugh, you already know what to do. Meditate, journal your thoughts, blah, blah, blah. But here's something priceless, a mindset shift. Be curious with yourself. You're clearly still getting to know you, so ask yourself more questions before making assumptions. After a while, you'll get sick and tired of living out of alignment with your true desires and realize no one's coming to save you except you. No, Jay Kaizen saves me. These videos are so damn insightful. Jay Kaizen's never saved you. He just made you think about it. Now what? If you're a creative seeking mental clarity and a personalized roadmap forward, head to the link in my bio and book a call with me. It's time to break the cycle and shift. Very limited slots available. Kaizen out. Love you.
Everyone talks about the fear of failure and why they don't try things because they're scared to fail. And the what if it doesn't work? What are they going to think of me? Are people going to like me? What am I going to think of myself? Because that is one of our most primal fears. We want to fit in and belong to a tribe or community. But not enough people talk about the fear of success. What if it does work? What if you crush it? What if you succeed? Then what? And I didn't understand why that was an issue. It sounded stupid to me at first until I talked to a potential who is now a current coaching client last week. And he mentioned to me, I think I'm scared of the success, because he had all the tools and the knowledge, but he was scared of what came after winning. And I didn't understand it, but the more we talked about it, the more I realized there's a real fear, because then you have to change permanently. What if you do lose 50 or 100 pounds and then you have to maintain it, because that's where people fail? Then now what? Now they have to change everything in their life to maintain that lifestyle. The old version of them can no longer exist, and that is scary. Change is scary, and it's why we are resistant to change and why we won't change until the pain of change is greater, the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. We as humans don't like to push ourselves and push our limits. Change is unsafe, it's unfamiliar, and it's scary. But some of you are not doing the thing you know you need to do because you're afraid of what happens if you get exactly what you want. And that is a crazy example of how we are not always our thoughts, and your brain is not always your friend, and you need to push your boundaries and push your limits, because the best thing you can do is show your brain, your mind, your body, and your spirit the other side of those hard things is a far better life. It isn't easy, but it is simple. Don't overcomplicate it.
You're only afraid because you know how important this path is to your spiritual development and growth. You are only afraid because you don't fully trust that you can handle whatever's going to come your way if you step into this role that you know was made for you. You were given these gifts for a reason, okay? The more that you step into your truth and power, the more the universe will reward you with peers, friends, mentors, community to support you on your journey. I believe this so strongly. We can't use our current support system to predict what our future one will look like. If you are in alignment and sharing yourself with the world, there will be people magnetized magnetize towards you, because we are all looking for something to believe in. We are all looking for people to believe in, for causes to believe in, for communities to believe in. So if you step into this role that you are calling in, I promise you the universe is going to provide you the synchronicities needed to support you on your path. You already know this. You've already felt this. You've already seen this. Let's step into it, okay? We're not hiding anymore. Love you, bye.
Okay, so I just got out of a really deep 20-minute meditation, and I got this piece of information about what we truly fear, or what I truly fear. But if you're watching this, you're aligned with me, then you probably fear this too. So pretty much, it's the fear of stepping into your power and stepping into the action that it takes to leave everything behind. And when I say everything, I mean the old ways of thinking, your old ways of doing, and actually believing in yourself. Because I've learned that I am very abundant in the physical, that whatever I need will always be provided for me somehow, some way, in whatever way the universe decides to deliver it to me. However, my fear of moving forward does not come from the abundance in the physical, rather than the abundance that I have energetically and spiritually. And let me dive deeper into that. When we are trying to forge our own paths, a lot of the times we know that we're going to have to step into spaces and energies that make us very uncomfortable, because we've been sitting in a life of comfort for so long. And I was just thinking about my journey and where I would want to go and how I want things to change for me. And I have this deep-rooted fear of actually stepping into these spaces and feeling deserving in these spaces. For instance, if you want to be a business owner, or you want to be an actress or an influencer, right, you're going to have to take the necessary means and steps into certain spaces and energies to do so, which requires you to get out of your comfort zone. More specifically, I'm just going to use the example of networking. And a lot of the times for me, I have a really hard time in social settings accepting my power amongst people who are very content and grounded within their own power. And that's also where insecurity comes from, the insecurities that we have because we often feel threatened by some people who are standing strong within their own power, but it's because of our lack in belief of being grounded within our own energy and power that causes us to be insecure in the first place. And so while I was meditating, I heard the words of you're not fearful of your success. You're fearful of the fact that you are very powerful and that you are going to have to finally own up to your power and stand grounded in who you are amongst other people who are grounded in who they are. So I say that to say that when you are deciding to move forward in whatever journey you decide to take, the real work comes in when you have no choice but to own up to who you are.
If it scares you, do it. And frankly, do it scared and do it unprepared. I get into so much trouble with this one, but I'm going to say it because that's what I do. The leap is always scary. And why is that? Because it's an unlived experience. You haven't done it yet. It's not just the leap itself, it's a new version of you. It is a different part of you, something that you have slept on for this life. That leap represents the authenticity, the vulnerability, the love that you hope to feel, the joy that you're ready to feel on the other side, and it's terrifying. But what's on the other side? And can you trust yourself enough to figure it out as you go? If you try and map this out A to Z, that's fine. But when has anything ever gone according to plan? You map something entirely out, what? Something always happens. Maybe this is the chapter for you where you start to step into that awe and wonder of releasing any expectation of what the outcome's supposed to be and trusting yourself enough to respond to the circumstances in front of you. Your logical brain knows how to function in this world. It's done it for however many years you're alive. But now you get to step into your faith a little bit. You respond to the inspiration. You allow yourself to feel the vision of what it is that you have held back on for your life. And you simply walk forward by taking a step.
Your lack of progress is your subconscious fear of being seen. Having a fear of being seen comes from the survival instinct of not wanting to be abandoned, not wanting to be judged, not wanting to be rejected. It often originates from childhood experiences where being noticed or being vulnerable often led to being criticized, shamed, or even punished. So we learn that we should play small, hide ourselves, and water down our true personality. And so in life or business, the way that this affects you is you will not go after the opportunities that you truly desire. You will label yourself a perfectionist and constantly delay projects because they're not perfect enough. You will second guess every choice, every decision, your appearance, and every opinion that you have. More than likely adapt your personality so you won't upset or disappoint someone, aka people pleasing. To be able to reprogram this subconscious fear, you need to teach yourself that visibility is associated with safety. You're watching this video because you're here to create a life above average. And in order to do that, you need to allow yourself to be visible. You need to allow yourself to be seen. Heal your relationship with visibility and watch the opportunities and experiences flow to you.
I have a theory that the things that are the hardest for us to do consistently or do at all if we know that they're good for us are the things that are the most likely to change our lives. You will experience the most resistance when you are about to make a choice that is going to change everything. You will experience the most resistance when you are trying to be consistent in something that is actively changing everything. Because you are a creature of safety. We all are. Our subconscious is more concerned with safety than it is with happiness. And when it senses that things are about to change and things are about to get really good, that feels dangerous. That feels a little bit scary. But the truth is, you can handle it. And the sooner that you can see that the resistance is just fear, but it's misguided fear and it doesn't need to be there to keep you safe, the sooner you can release it and return back into the truth that you are ready for this next step.